I'm looking around and I'm seeing nothing but orange and green. All of a sudden, I'm like, are we in SoFlo? We got a Miami Hurricane Hall of Famer, Leon Searcy, and we've got now one of the newest that has signed, will sign with the Miami Hurricanes, and Deryc Plazz from Mandarin. Congratulations, first off, man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
got to be a good feeling.
Yes, sir. It's a phenomenal feeling.
Yeah, so kind of give us from the start of the day today what you've done and just how stoked you are about your next chapter.
So far today, first thing I did when I woke up, get my paperwork signed, send that in. I wanted to make sure 7:01 I'm locked in because I knew there's nowhere else I wanted to be. So go ahead and lock that in. I wanted to be the first guy. So I did that, got dressed, head to toe in my Canes gear, headed over to Mandarin, chatted with my guys, my teammates, and had our ceremony shot over here.
Yeah, we'll talk about what you guys did this season, but Leon, as soon as you saw him, here's a guy that could grow up to be somebody like you, like a Miami Hurricane.
Oh, absolutely. That's why when he walked in the door, I called him family.
Yeah.
That's how we greet each other at University of Miami. That's just like your family. You want to see him succeed. When I saw him coming here, man, I was just so happy for him because I know he's got all these emotions right now, and I was telling him as far as Mario goes, Mario understands what it means to win championships because he played at Miami. He's got 2 national championships, and that same pedigree. He's gonna put it. You're gonna have to put in the work. I know when you had that conversation with him, you're gonna put in the work and practice because that's all you know. He knows is that you got to put in the work. You got to compete if you want to be what you need to be on Saturday. So I'm happy for you,
yes,
your
sir.
family, and I just wanted to ask you as far as when it came to Mario, what was it about Mario Cristobal that made you want to play for him?
It was the same thing as you were saying. He was a Cane. He wasn't just a Cane for some time. He was a Cane when they was winning, and that's the standard of a Miami Hurricane. That's what he wanted to get it back to be. It was a major drop off for a while, but I know with the things that he's doing, the coaches he's building, the players that he's bringing in, the culture is changing, and we're going to be winning soon. I didn't want to be a part of a program where you pretty much been doing the same thing for 10 years. I wanted to be a difference maker, and I know that Miami is the best opportunity to do that.
Nice.
So, Deryc, a couple things. Number one, are you going to be a midterm enrollee, or will you enroll in the summer? And number two, what do you think you have to improve on the most? You have to gain weight. You have to get bigger. What do you think is?
I'll be there at mid-year, so I'll enroll January 14th, first day of class on the 16th.
Nice.
The biggest thing for me, my next step would be just taking a step back and just getting in the weight room, relearning the new playbook, terminology, just pretty much not trying to be a guy that's like, I want to play right now. Understanding that as the offensive line position, it's a position that experience is the best. Experience is going to be your best tool pulling out the shed.
Right.
So I know that if I can take time, get my body right, learn the terminology. We just brought in a great center from Indiana. I want to play center in college, so that's a guy I can learn a lot from. So I'm just pretty much taking a step back, taking my time, learn the playbook correctly, put weight on my body the right way, and get stronger.
Can you believe this is the first time this guy has ever been on radio, ever done an interview like this?
Smooth.
I see why his head coach, Toby Bullock, said he's going to run for mayor of Jacksonville one day. Deryc, walk us through your recruitment process, because you did start at Andrew Jackson High School,
ma'am.
and then obviously you went to Mandarin from there. Kind of walk us through from where you were as a 9th grader and maybe the prospects there to now here you are signing with the University of Miami.
Yes, ma'am. So I came in as a 9th grader playing basketball. I wasn't too much thinking about football. I was at Andrew Jackson, one of the better teams in Jacksonville, and Coach Collins pretty much made me play football. He told me that in basketball I'll be able to go to college, but it probably won't be too much spectacular. I was a 6'4" guy trying to play center. It's not going to be much there. He told me if I play football, I'll be able to change my mom's life and change the dynamic of my family. So I took his word for it, went out there, and just so happened it was Coach Foy's first year, and Coach Foy was a phenomenal coach. And I played for the late Coach Donald Rocker, who played a major role in getting me to where I am now. So being able to play for Coach Foy, Coach Rocker, but also being surrounded by guys like Coach Collins who are pushing you to do the right things when a lot of guys wouldn't do that. He was pushing me to do what's best for me.
Yeah.
Real quick, Coach Rock, you're not the first to come in here. Grayson obviously came and joined us on the program and just talked about him. What has he meant to this whole generation, the late Coach Rock, and just you guys that are now signing and the recruitment and taking you guys on visits? And maybe when you woke up this morning, did you think about him?
Yeah, I think about him every day. He means a lot to me. I talk to his dad all the time. We have a great relationship. And Coach Rock was just a guy that pushed me every day. He saw it in me when I didn't see it in myself. I didn't want to play football. I wanted to play basketball. But he told me, eventually you fall in love with what's best for you. And that's what has happened now. Sadly, it happened after he's no longer with us, but it was a phenomenal thing. And he also helped and played a major role in my commitment at one point I talked to his dad before I committed, and his dad didn't notice, but I had just prayed and asked God to give me a sign as to where I want to go. I was torn between NC State and Miami. Everything was equal. So I talked to his dad, and he was telling me, oh, yeah, we went on some visits to Cristobal and Mirabal. Coach Rock was going to commit to them at FIU, but then they were fired. Things transpired. So once I heard that, I text Coach Cristobal, hey, Coach, I want to commit. Everything was good from there. And I also committed on July 7th, which Coach Rock wore 77, so 7-7. I do a lot to honor Coach Rock. That's not somebody I'll forget. He had a mindset, be legendary, and that's something that I carry with myself.
I love it. I love it. We're talking with Deryc Plazz from Mandarin, now headed to Miami, and you said you're going to be an early enrollee. And just to go back to the one thing you said a minute ago, it's something if a star at Florida State playing a certain sport directs you to another sport in another school. So James Collins does need to be given some credit for that, to say, hey, you got a future in football. Now, 6'4", then 6'5" now, playing center. Is that we don't see that many tall centers. We have one here in Jacksonville that was 6'7", and Dave Weidel. But what do you think you can do as far as putting weight on your frame?
I think putting weight on my frame, I don't have to be super heavy, but I think I need to put as much muscle on, get strong as possible, because playing center in the ACC, I'm going to be having to be tasked with moving some very big guys. But I think the center thing isn't more about my size. I think it's about more of my mentality and my intellect, the football, the coaches that Miami, and all of my coaches pretty much think I have a high football IQ. I'm a natural leader. So those are traits that you want in the center. So I think that's an opportunity that will present itself for me.
Man, I love this kid.
I do.
Because here's the thing. I mean, it's so refreshing to hear a kid say, hey, I want to go there. I want to learn. I want to be mentored. I want to learn behind the guy that's in front of me. Because most kids, they want to say, hey, man, I want to start. I want to play, whatever. Because it's what you have is that's your craft, his craft. And he's got to sharpen his tool each and every day, while he's at work. So it's so refreshing to hear kids say, you know what? It's not about me starting. It's about me learning, growing. Because when I went to the University of Miami, I was red-shirted. I had to learn, and then when it was my turn, I shined. But they prepared me to shine, and that's the thing about it. And Mario and that coach said understands that, how the preparedness of getting a kid like you ready, and then when you ready, he gonna be ready. That's the key.
Those are the hungry young men, right?
Yes,
the guys that know how to do the process.
Yes, it's a process, man. You got to go through. You got to go through the process, the struggle, all that kind of stuff. To when it's your time, then you're prepared and you're ready. That's what's up.
I do think the one key thing you said, Deryc, is that Mario was there when Miami was winning, and so he certainly can install, that mindset. Now, what about the other guys that you've had conversations with in this recruiting class going to the U? Can you kind of shed a little light on that?
Oh, yeah. The thing I love about our class, and I don't really stress about flips, it would be great to get some flips like these guys that we're after, and we're going to make some noise today. But just the thing about it, talking to the other commits, everybody wants to be there for the right reasons. The big thing about Miami is the big persona around Miami is that, NIL. Every time we get a big name kid on Twitter, you will see, they're throwing the kitchen sink at this kid. But that's not the case. It may be a factor for some people, but the fact that everybody wants to be there for the right reasons. We have a lot of the coaching staff who either played at Miami or is from Miami. Not a lot of our coaches really are after other opportunities at this moment. Everybody wants to be there, and the kids that we're recruiting can see that. Coach doesn't recruit anybody that can play ball. He recruits people from winning programs, as majority of our commits or late targets were either playing in state championships or state semifinal matchups. So everybody's coming from winning programs, and everybody has the same mindset. Some rooms, guys coming in may be able to play early. Some guys coming to play later. But at the end of the day, we all say the same thing. We want to bring the U back, and that's what I love about this class.
Mario's recruiting canes. That's it. That's the difference. Recruit canes. Yeah. This is a cane, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
And it's funny, Deryc, because we met with Mario up in Amelia Island for the ACC meetings, and this was after the year one, and that was the first thing he said to Leon is he said, "I need guys that want to be canes and want to work."
Yes,
it's very evident you want to work.
And and another thing Mario said, the one thing that Mario understands because he played at Miami, you going to compete every day.
Yeah.
Every day. We didn't listen when I was at Miami, man, you had to compete every day or you get lost in the shuffle. And that's how we won. Listen, our practices, Jimmy Johnson used to say this. He says you win games in the off season and you play on Saturday. how you compete during the off season, I never forget when he said that. He said some other things I can't say on the air, but I'm just saying that man taught me how to be a champion, man, when I was at Miami, and I love him for it.
Deryc, what are you going to study at Miami?
I'm going to study business with a minor in journalism.
Love it.
Very good.
Nice.
Love it. Yep,
Nice.
he's well on his way to not only becoming the mayor of Jacksonville, taking our job too. Deryc, before we let you go, Mandarin, obviously a great season for you guys. I know obviously your high school career has come to a close, but just reflect on the run to the state final, and those boys sure have a lot of talent coming back next year as well.
The run to the state title was amazing, but it's not anything that we didn't expect. When I first came to Mandarin, I told him I came there because I want to surround myself with other great players, but also be able to win. And I knew that's something that we could achieve there. Going in our run, we came together as a team and realized that the games that we lost during the regular season was because everyone gets mad, want to point fingers, when you get upset and don't play as a team. But going through the playoffs, we were able to go win four road games, which isn't an easy task. So we learned that when we lean on each other, believe in each other, and just trust each other, we were able to accomplish great things because we had a phenomenal group of guys that are very talented, but also the great coaching to go with it.
Mm-hmm. When you think, I don't know how much you drilled down on this whole metro and suburban and all this crap that the Florida High School Activities Association have cooked up and then scrapped. Did you like it? Because honestly, it didn't necessarily. I think South Florida's ticked off that North Florida is contending for these state titles, and that's why they scrapped.
I don't really mind it, but it also I can see how people are opposed to it. I would say it's better off leave it open because there's too many excuses being made now. When good teams are getting to the playoffs, a lot of teams have an excuse, or it's only because of this, it's only because of that. I think that honestly, the school size or any of that shouldn't matter. The best teams should play the best teams. Chaminade should play St. Thomas and Mandarin type of talent versus going to play smaller schools, Christ churches, and things like that. Because sometimes that's not just fair. It's not fair to the kids that are playing at those schools, but it's not really getting a lot of guys better when it's time to go to college. Yeah. So I think that it's some things that could be changed, but I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, listen, we said the mayor, but at least you've thought about it a little bit, so that part I appreciate.
Right, we might make him the director of the FHSA.
Yeah, at least we'll put you in charge of that.
Right. May have to do that. Deryc, I'm just curious, did you grow up following Miami? I know obviously you were a basketball fan, so who are the teams you grew up following, or maybe you find yourselves following, or players you find yourselves emulating as you get ready to begin your college career?
When I was younger, I played football, but I wasn't really into it that much. I didn't really watch a lot of NFL or anything, so my granddad and my uncle liked the Gators, so I liked a little bit of the Gators. Then my dad from Alabama, he's a Bama fan, so I liked a little bit of that. And then at the time, Alabama was winning, so it's easy to say, I'm a Bama fan. But coming into recruitment, since I was offered by Miami, I've been a fan. I'm not just a guy that's going there to play. I love the University of Miami, and it's something I've done my time to research it, learn about the people who were there before me, but also the people who are coming in with me and those who will come after me. So I'm definitely turning to a Miami fan right now.
So you play basketball, right?
Yes, sir.
Who's better, LeBron or Jordan?
I'm a bit LeBron.
All right, well,
JJ loved that. You love that, didn't you, JJ?
All right, so leave him with a little.
JJ may nominate Deryc for president right now. He'll be the president of Miami if JJ has a say.
Leave him with a little wisdom before we have to turn him loose.
Well, listen, I talked to him a little bit, when he first came in. The best thing I could tell you is that I tell a lot of kids this. They're going into college, man. Don't worry about the NFL. Just be the best possible Miami Hurricane you can be. All right? If you're good, if you're great, they're going to find you anyway. And don't run your own race. And I say that because there's a lot of distractions, right? Mm-hmm. Guys are getting paid here. Guys are driving this, and that. Listen, no good thing. Well, not no good thing. If it's meant for you, it's going to find you. Mm-hmm. Any good thing. If it's meant for you, it's going to find you. So just run your race. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't lose a sense of who you are for material things. Just run your race, and all the good that you desire will find you.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, man, we're going to keep up with you. We'll probably have you pop in whenever you make it back up to North Florida, but best of luck, and really congratulations because you got a good future ahead of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.